Welcome to the stream. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Braythorn. How the heck you doing? Yeah, we're here for another PC matchmaking stream. I hope you're down with that. If you're not, I don't know, we'll work something out. That something is where I do the stream anyway. Okay, so let's say hi to some people. Hi, some people. Okay, over in Twitch land. Over in Twitch, it might have been a little confusing because I started the stream and stopped it immediately and started it back up. I still had the same stream settings as Sunday, where it was just for Twitch. Had to fix that. But what's up, Lon Vaquero? You're first, so I say hi to you first. Skeeter Gaming, how you doing? Juno 4, hello. That song does go hard, but I don't know if you're talking about the Starting Soon one, which I've been using for, I guess, 5 years now. Motion of the Edge from Stream Beats. But this is from backingtrack.gg, Megabuster from their Chiptunes Chiprock album. One of them, anyway. Lovacaus is just looking to get both a decent 1080p 60 FPS capture card and a decent MP3 player. Like physical MP3 player? That's not your phone? Okay. Exiled Wolf, welcome. How's it going? Not the Starting Soon one, the other one. Oh, yeah. No, that's just look up Megabuster backing track and you'll find it. I need to get one of those widgets that shows the track that's playing. Over in YouTube land, what's up, Steve? How's it going? Glad to have you here. What's up, V for V? And Robert Fixit. How are y'all doing? For those who missed it, we had a little weirdness with when the last let me adjust some things here real quick. The last PC matchmaking stream was going to be turned into a 56 Ti testing stream, and then that did not happen. After like three times I had to postpone it. I was just like, it was Saturday. I was like, let me just do a PC matchmaking stream, and I did that. But yeah. It was an interesting time. Although I will say one of the cooler things that happened during that Saturday stream was that I had the like, I guess, the main content creator for Mini Katana, I don't know if you've heard of them, come through and get help with a PC. And some cool stuff might be developing from that. I don't know if you've heard of them. If you like sword stuff, you certainly have, I imagine. They're one of the bigger sword YouTube channels on YouTube. Mostly for short form content, though, which, I mean, that's all this person who was here. That's like that's they're doing. No, I changed my RGB. Oh no. Oh no, I passed it. Here we go. Christopher Crawford, welcome. How's it going? At work now, but I'm just heading home now. All right, treat this like a podcast. Do not look at the stream, and enjoy my dulcet tones or whatever. What is it? You know what? I don't even know what dulcet tones means. It's a thing. It's been a thing for. I don't know what that means. I know dulce is candy in Spanish. Cocopella Bob, thank you for the 100 biddies. I appreciate that. Thanks for your time. Great stuff. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for your money. For the bits. I appreciate that. Thank you. What's up, Bone Shock? How's it going? Yeah, I want a way to listen to music without needing to rely on a streaming service or anything. Just an offline, always mine. That's a good thing to do. Also, Vaquero, there's some cool players out there that play FLAC files, FLAC files, things like lossless audio, and that's even better. IMO. I've kind of wanted one of those for a while. So like if I'm listening to music on a flight or audiobooks or whatever, then I'm not draining my phone's battery as I'm going. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff out there. I know you can get, you can take it or leave it when it comes to drop.com. I like some of the stuff that shows up on there. I know they've done some questionable things though, but they do have a lot of good audiophile options. Alice, welcome. How are you? Sailor, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Always glad to see the regulars. Just how lucky am I to have regulars? Whenever I'm feeling down, and I've had a lot of ups and downs in the last couple months. I remember you guys. Y'all are, I think of course family and loved ones and things like that, but also you guys. The fact that I can be doing this and you guys just come and hang out with me, like that's just the coolest freaking thing ever as a content creator, because it's a very isolating job. I've talked about this before, and this is important for anyone who's interested in getting into content creation. It's important for you to know that it is a job that can be isolating. And if you're an introvert, that's fine, because you thrive in that kind of environment. But I'm an ambivert. I do need to be around people at times. So just hanging around with you guys is a good dose of that. I appreciate you very much. Still have a massive CD tower. That's awesome. Yep. Mice we get music in FLAC, but the difference in MP3 and FLAC is one that I've heard is minimal to the everyday person. Yeah, if it matters to you, then cool. If it doesn't matter to you, then also cool. And I already have like 700 songs in MP3 format. That's totally fine. The difference with a player that can play lossless audio is that it can play both. So like if you have vinyls or CDs that you're trying to convert to digital, then you can convert those to FLAC and then, but also play your MP3s. That's why I think those are cool. It's just, you pay for that. You pay for there's a price to it, because you also have to have decent, you need to be able to drive some decent cans, so, they'll generally have the power to do that, and that comes with a cost. But the other thing, Vaquero, is that you can always, if you're converting to files from, because I was going to say, if you had CDs and converting them to digital, CDs are digital, yeah. But if you are converting to files, you can always convert to FLAC and then convert that to MP3. If you're like, I'm not going to get a FLAC player, you'll have the lossless files to work with. But really, there's a whole like ecosystem you have to build for yourself if you want to be able to tell the difference between lossless and MP3. So, to each their own, really. It's the audiophile thing. I dipped my toes into the audiophile world when I got my DT770s, high impedance headphones for reference audio. And it was interesting. I was like, there's a whole rabbit hole here that I don't think I want to go down because of the cost. It can be very cost prohibitive for those who are new to it. Again, apologies to the Twitch audience. If you're seeing this in 720p, it's going to be the best damn quality 720p stream you'll ever see. But I'm still on Meld for my streaming software. And Meld does not have a way to differentiate between platforms for multi-streaming when it comes to your bitrate. And Twitch apparently does not like to have me trying to send, 25K up to them instead of 8K or 7K. So they take it from, 4K streams down to 720p for some reason. I don't know why they do that. But yeah. Meld needs to add that feature, but I'm not going to be on it for much longer. I'm going to be switching over. Hey, Bertha, I just want to say thank you for the PC build, but I still haven't been able to buy it since a white 5070 Ti hasn't become available. So I think I'm going to go to Alexander PC for a pre-build. Okay, yeah. H-Killing Gaming, just fill out the form again. I'd be happy to help you out. It's not a problem at all. I mean, I imagine you filled it out. I don't know if you filled it out in the 2025. When was yours? Yeah, yours was on the 25th. I just want to make sure you understand something important here. You're going from a Micro Center build with things like where you have things like bundle deals and things like that, to a boutique builder, it's unlikely that will be able to fit a 5070 Ti into an Alexander PC's build because they don't skimp on any of the components, which adds to the cost. And you get a lifetime warranty, something you do not get from Micro Center. So it would be a step down on the build for sure. Just understand that. I mean, you could go price to performance with something like iBuyPower or Skytech. But yeah, it's I mean, I love Alexander PCs. I think they're an awesome SI, and definitely an amazing crew over there. But they're boutique, and they would tell you that themselves. And that's going to imply that you're going to be getting a little bit less performance for your dollar, but you get all the other benefits instead. Are so many tech YouTubers going on a witch hunt against the 5060 Ti? Mostly because the 8 gig should not exist, Sailor, and I agree with them on that. The 8 gig should not exist. It should, and also the 16 gig should not exist. It should be the 5060 Ti, 12 gig. One of the best cards in that price range that NVIDIA released was, although the entry level price wasn't super great, but the 3060 Ti was amazing, and it had 12 gigs of VRAM. That thing punched way above its weight class. I recommended it to a ton of people, and they're all still on that card, and it's amazing. It does 1440p like nobody's business. Great. But this whole thing, they started with the 4060 Ti, 8 gig and 16 gig, was wrong and stupid, and they're doing it again. And I don't know, it got so much negative feedback, I don't know what the hell they're thinking doing it again. Now, the 16 gig 5060 Ti, I haven't been able to fully test yet, but you see the tests out there, and it's actually a solid step up over the 3060 Ti and 4060 Ti, because those two cards came in pretty close to each other. It's basically the performance increase that the 4060 Ti should have offered. However, the 8 gig card is getting no love because it shouldn't exist, honestly. Yeah. And also, NVIDIA has pretty much squandered all of their goodwill when it comes to tech YouTubers. And the beginning of that was not recent. It was around the time of the 3080 Ti. Years ago. I mean, think about this. The 3080, $700 MSRP. 3080 Ti, a small step up from the 3080, to be fair, $1,200. That was when they were seeing what people were paying with scalper pricing and saying, oh, we're going to do that instead. We're going to get that money instead of scalpers getting it. And since then, they have just been giving away any goodwill currency they had with tech content creators because we're not their salespeople. Okay? I made a case for the 5070 because I felt like it was getting unnecessary hate because they're like, oh, look at it versus the 4070 and the 4070 Ti and this and that. And those things were going for twice the price of the 5070 at MSRP. And I was like, y'all, well, I don't know what you're smoking, but I know you need clicks. I get that. You need to pay your employees and stuff like that. You need to keep your business running, but don't be dishonest about this. Saying like, oh, just get a 4060 Ti when people have to spend $1,200 on one is not smart and not good advice. Not helpful to anybody. It's just out of touch, is what it is. Bluehead Mel. Hi, greetings. How are you? First time chat simply says, upgrading from Ryzen 5 7600 to and Ryzen 7 7800 X3D with a 4060 Ti GPU good? Or should I just get the Ryzen 7 9800 X3D? I want to also start streaming more to put in consideration. Bluehead Mal, start with hello. I'm a person. Hi, welcome to the stream. How are you? Yeah, audiophile stuff gets expensive fast, and I'm trying to keep the budget under 200 for an MP3 player, but and in that range, they all seem to have lossless audio support. Excellent, cool. Not worried about that. Personally, my biggest concern is build quality, but anyway, that's enough talk about MP3 players for now. Hey, it's tech. I like talking about tech. Laxky Repeat, welcome. How's it going? Justin Ackerman. Hi. Does a 9700X, a X870 ASRock Steel Legend, and a 9070 ASRock Steel Legend GPU work well together? Yeah, they're all compatible. For what purpose? I don't know. But they will work. I mean, are you doing Photoshop for a living? What are we talking about here? What are you using it for? You got to give me context if you're going to ask. If you want good answers, you need to ask good questions. Meaning, does it work well together for gaming and streaming, or for content creation and photo and graphic design? This is why I have a forum that forces you to answer the questions that people who want to help you need to know the answers to. That was my best sentence ever. Good job, me. Anyway. But what's up, Northern Lights? How's it going? How does the 5060 Ti compare to the 3060 12 gig? Wait, what was the 3060 Ti? Was it 8 gig or was it 12? It might have been 8 gig. Man, that card was crazy. That was a crazy card. Mikey Mike, what's going on? Bluehead Mel. My bad. Hello, Bray. Hi. By the way, if you're mostly gaming, Bluehead Mel, then don't bother upgrading your CPU. If you're gaming at 1440p or 4K, you need a better GPU rather than a better CPU. 7600X can game in 4K with like nobody's business because the CPU has almost nothing to do, well, very little to do with your gaming experience at higher resolutions. But again, context. I don't know the context. Other than just like, you want to start streaming. Having 8 cores, 16 threads can help with streaming though. So there's that. But you don't need anything X3D if you're going at 1440p or higher resolutions. It's just a money sink at that point. But how does the 5060 Ti compare to the 3060 12 gig? I would love to tell you that, but I don't have charts in front of me, and there are charts that can show you that. It's going to outperform it. But also, you got to specify, do you mean the 5060 Ti 8 or 16 gig? Northern Lights. Yeah, the 3060 Ti was 8 gigs. And that thing's still running. That's the whole thing about VRAM, right? Because people are talking about that there shouldn't be a 5060 Ti 8 gig. I'm not saying it won't run games, okay? It's just that at that price point, VRAM is not that expensive in a certain perspective. VRAM is not that expensive. To make it a valid upgrade over the 5060 that's going to come out, it should be just 12 gigs, period. They shouldn't have a 16 or an 8. It should be 12 gigs on the 5060 Ti, in my opinion. What H Killing Gaming says, what is your thoughts on the MSI X870E motherboard? My thoughts are that there's like 5 of those, and I don't know which one you mean. If you want to game and stream, just look at the MSI X670E Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. Get that one. Just look up X670E Gaming Plus Wi-Fi, and you'll see which one I mean. It has a lot of the options that you want, tons of I/O. It's great for gaming and streaming. When I did a PC collaboration with Skytech for the $2,000 streaming and gaming PC that we put out, that was the motherboard I chose, and I would not take no for an answer. That was the motherboard I wanted in that system that I was personally speccing out. It's Epic G. Hey, Bray, first time tuning into one of your streams. I watched so many of your vids to help with my PC needs, so thank you. You're very welcome, and I hope I came close to pronouncing your Twitch name correctly. I played GTA 5M, and it's CPU-based game. Not necessarily, but because there's a lot of different servers out there. At 5M, yeah, it can be somewhat CPU dependent, but that's going to depend again on the resolution that you're gaming at, which you still haven't mentioned. If you're playing at 1080p, every game is going to be more CPU dependent. If it's 1440p or higher, then not really. See, there you go. There you go. If you plan on continuing to game at 1080p, that will continue to be CPU dependent, and an X3D chip can help. You want to upgrade to 1440p or higher, leave your CPU alone, unless you're going to upgrade to an 8-core, 16-thread CPU just for streaming and gaming at the same time. But you don't have to get anything X3D once you get to 1440p or higher. I will die on this hill. You do not need that. Now, I chose in the collab system that I did for like $2,000 with Skytech to do a 9800 X3D because it had just come out and they had prioritized getting frequencies up and temperatures better by putting the 3D V-cache underneath the core complex die, and that was really cool. And it was also really good for stuff like graphic design, things like that. But you don't need it. Bray, welcome to your live stream. Thank you. I love it here. Let me see. 4K gaming and streaming. That 9070 is not really designed for 4K, Justin Ackerman. I'll tell you that. It's designed for 1440p. It can do it, but I would probably have sprung for the 9070 XT rather than the 9070. Now, there's word out there by people that I like and that I know who are like, you can just flash the 9070 XT BIOS onto a 9070. It is a complicated process, not for the beginner. There are videos out there that will teach you how to do it. There is a chance you could potentially brick your card, particularly if it's not a dual V-BIOS card. And at that point, you're risking making an entire card a paperweight outside of warranty because they will not warranty it once they see that you have flashed the V-BIOS. Versus just spending the extra $50 to $100 on the 9070 XT. The weirdest thing I've seen people on Reddit do is bragging about their 3080 GPUs in one thread just to dump on the 5060 Ti, then in a totally different thread say they don't buy NVIDIA. Well, that's Sailor, you just don't listen to those people. Gary Klinky says, "Hi guys, it's been a while." It has been, Gary. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back. But yeah, Bluehead Mal, again, if you're gaming at 1080p, it is going to be more CPU intensive, regardless of the game. That does not make 5M a CPU-based game. So be sure that you're not saying that on Reddit and different forums and things like that. It might be a bit more CPU dependent, but it is not a CPU-based game. There isn't really that isn't really a thing in most cases. There are some games that rely on the CPU more, like Microsoft Flight Sim. You need a good CPU for that. But you also need a really good GPU for that. Make no mistake, you need both. By the way, who was here on Sunday? Wasn't that crazy? ADEF rated with like 200 people. That was super cool. And then a decent number of them stuck around for like a while. That was awesome. Is it true that the human eye can't detect more than 1920 horizontally and 1080 pixels vertically in real time? V for V, that is not true in the slightest. The actual resolution of real time of actual IRL things is infinite. There are no pixels, and we detect those just fine. Get yourself a 1080p 27-inch monitor, and I promise you, you're going to see some pixels. That pixel density, not super great. So I should go 1440, and okay, I never told anyone that statement. Okay, good. I'm glad you kept it to just here, Bluehead Mal. My thing is this. Misinformation is usually accidental and not malicious. We can like if you really believe something and you say that, you're not really lying. You actually believe the thing you're saying. But yeah, you didn't say it anywhere else. You said it here, and I was able to basically correct you on that, and that's awesome. This is the place to make statements like that so that I can address it. Question, has anyone here played Civ 7? I'm curious about if you like it or not. I used to play RTS games, and I find I don't have the patience for it anymore. Hate it. Sent it over, Bray. All right, cool. I've been checking out pre-builts to get for my girlfriend, but having a hard time choosing one. The main game she's wanting to play is Inzoi, if you have any recommendations. I believe that one is something you want to run on NVIDIA. That's one thing I know about Inzoi. They worked closely with NVIDIA on that, if I'm not mistaken. But it looks like you'll be first. So yeah, I'd be happy to help you out. And if you're going to be going for 1080p, then we should be able to do Alexander PCs if you really want that lifetime warranty, which, like, why wouldn't you? I do get that. I understand. I was watching videos to make a pre-built, and they had this one for 800. So I believe this was a grab to start on and upgrade. Okay, yeah, fair. The thing is, you'll hear a lot of stuff about the 4060 Ti. The main thing to always remember, guys, is that, and this is a blanket statement, and blanket statements are can be inherently problematic, but there are no bad GPUs, only bad prices. So if you get something like a 4060 Ti for a great deal, all the reviews you see on a GPU are assuming base MSRP or higher. If you get it for less than that, you can get a hell of a deal. Why do I hear so much hate towards ASRock products from so many people? Most people who complain about ASRock motherboards, and specifically, are those who actually have to work in BIOS and they don't like how disorganized that BIOS is, or it's not pretty enough for them. And I'm like, dude, 99% of people will spend like almost zero time in their BIOS. Okay? Or if you're Canadian, or apparently BIOS is how, that's how I hear Jake say it over at LTT. But anyways, I don't know why it's like weird to me. I guess it makes sense because its output is the O in BIOS. And it's not output. Although you think a Canadian would say it that way. Anyway. Happy Friday. It's UEFI now, Boomer. Yeah, that sounds stupid. UEFI? Really? You can't pronounce that. So no. And you know what UEFI is? It's a freaking interface for the BIOS. Hi, Rurutu. What a way to make an entrance. Also, I'll have you know, I'm half the age of what a boomer would be. So, yeah. Okay, like 2/3. Should I patiently wait for MSI to restock their 5070 Ti GPU, which it's priced a little under $900, or find an alternative? Because Amazon has it priced at $1,100 and I refuse to be price scammed. That's pretty bad. Yep. Here's the thing. Jonah 4 is you're probably going to have better luck getting a 5070 Ti from a system integrator, not buying it at retail. Retail is a mess right now. And I understand. You're probably like, I want to build it myself. Are you willing to spend literally 50% extra on a GPU? Well, I guess it's $900 to $1,200 or $1,100 is not 50% extra, but are you willing to spend hundreds of dollars extra just for the privilege of building the PC? My suggestion for those who are really, really wanting to build their own PC is get a pre-built, unbuild it, build it into a new case or something, rebuild it. You'll get that whole experience other than the unboxing part of things, but you'll pay right now less money. Now, if you don't unbuild it and do other stuff like that, you then have a full warranty. So, like, yeah, you know. Plus, Bray, you are not a ballistic missile submarine. Taylor, I think you might have lost me there. I purchased my other parts already. Well, here's what you do, Jonah 4. You get a placeholder GPU. Anything you can get your hands on for a reasonable price. If you're planning on going NVIDIA, get a used NVIDIA GPU. Just go on java.gg, see what you can find there for people who are just selling GPUs by themselves, and put in anything to get your system going that's going to give you a decent gaming experience. And once things settle down, then you can buy your high-end GPU, and you can sell off the used one again. So there you go. Shoes are boomers, are they? Okay. I get it. Boom. Like, okay. Is it cheaper to buy products from the manufacturer or from, say, Newegg? Or is this typically not possible? Generally, a lot of manufacturers don't sell directly. They'll usually point you in the direction of where you can buy stuff at third-party retailers. What's up, Werewolf Mania? How do you like the 5 Fine? I have had this mic as a backup mic since, I think, CES 2023. And I love this thing. It's great. It's not going to sound as good as my Super 55, but I can actually get, direct headphone jack into this. I don't have to worry about wavelength and its delayed monitoring, which is not for the sane. I think it does not feel good. I don't like the sound of it. Does these kids know there's more than one past generation than just boomer LMFAO? Well, unfortunately, boomer has become a meme. You can, and I mean, it's like the name Karen. I feel bad for you if you were born with the name Karen and you're not a douche, because you're basically given that reputation by association. I'm listening with $10 earbuds. The mic sounds fine. Yes, clearly reference audio right there. Rurutu, if you want really good audio for like not much, I love these Truthier and Critical Zeros. They're like $50 for dual driver in-ear monitors, and they look insanely good and they sound insanely good. Love these things. Skeeter, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you. But yeah, Jonah 4, let me know what you think about that solution to buy a temporary GPU. Just a used one off of java.gg. If you're born after 1964, you ain't a baby boomer. That includes most older people in previous generations. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It became a meme. Like, there's basically anyone who they see as like older with outdated beliefs that are like, yeah, they just say boomer. So it's not meant to be logical. And you can't apply logic to something that was not created from logic. Are you able to go to CES this year? I did go to CES in January, yes. Bone shock. Are you talking about Computex next month? Because it is very iffy. Like, I'm waiting on one person to get back to me, and that one person basically has my fate in their hands. And that doesn't feel good. I have Audio-Technica and a Thermaltake headset. Too hot to wear them in summer. That's why I like IEMs. Yes, my bad. I mix them up. That's okay. Like, the thing is, guys, I know some of y'all would like to support me going to some of these events. First off, I would rather take a company's money than yours. I want you to hold on to your money. This economy is freaking terrifying right now. Okay? Secondly, the amount that it costs to go to Taiwan and stay there for over a week is a lot. I'm talking about like thousands of dollars. The main reason to do that is more to connect with companies and all this stuff, because I don't make that an ROI on that from the content. I just don't. So yeah. Do you have an ironclad contract, Bray? I'm going to. It's just I have to get a yes first. This person who I'm waiting on word from, they know what happened at CES, and they will not do me like that. It'll be beforehand, because I can't afford to out of pocket pay for it and then get reimbursed. So yeah, not quite over 9,000 Rurutu, not quite. Although the more time passes and the closer we get to it, the price is going up. Okay, so I guess we should get to this. I'm wondering if I should like extend the chat to go all the way up here. I feel weird having this empty space. But whatever. I'd have to do that later. Never been to Taiwan. My brother-in-law is Taiwanese. Taipei is one of my favorite places on the planet. The people, the food, the sights, everything. The time, because I'm nocturnal essentially. I'm a night owl, so I wake up in the morning over there like naturally. It's weird. I'm on the older end of Gen X myself. I am just like at the end of Gen X into millennial. I'm like just barely millennial. Taylor. Because it was Gen X right before millennial, or was it Gen Y? Was it Gen Y? I don't know. I don't know my gens. Clearly. Anyway, so we're helping out. But can you tell me how to pronounce this? Because I'm going to be talking to you. It's Epic G. Is it? It's Epic G? Is that what it is? Like as in it is Epic G? That's what I'm getting out of that. Millennial or Gen Y. Okay. So, all right. So I'm early millennial. What would you recommend? Because I don't know what the market's like over on Java, Jonah 4, I couldn't recommend anything to you. It's whatever you can get your hands on to get your system running. It's not meant to be a top performer or anything. I just wouldn't recommend getting something other than whatever actual GPU you want to get later. And if you're looking at a 5070 Ti, which I can get behind, the 5070 Ti is an excellent GPU. The pricing is the only issue. Then I would get something like a 3060 or a 3060 Ti or 3070, something like that for now. If you can find a decent price on a used one at Java. The main thing about Java is that your purchases are protected. I'm not a super fan of them because of some stuff that happened before where they basically took hours of my life to help them with something and then they ghosted me instead of collaborating with me like they were supposed to. But it doesn't mean that doesn't take away from the fact that they're a good marketplace for those who are a little iffy about buying used hardware. Betweeners, Gen X pause is the best hybrid generation of people on Earth right now, in my opinion. Okay. I don't know what years those would be. I'm 82. I'm not 82 years old, okay? I'm not James Randall over here. I'm 82 years old. Okay, got you. Appreciate it. No problem. Yeah, getting a 30 series card is probably a good bet. You get DLSS. You get a decent generation of NVENC on there, and you'll actually have a solid upgrade going from that to 50 series. But there's even stuff like 2070 Supers that also have DLSS. You know, something like that. Either way, just whatever you can get your hands on. So, but yeah, I was asking, it's Epic G. First off, if I'm saying that right, but I need to make sure you're still here before we continue. It shows that you are still in chat. Do me this favor, Epic G. Drop this emote in chat, if you will. Same for H Killing. Drop that same emote in chat if you don't mind. I know you have the sub badges, so I see that, but that's just something I ask everybody to do pretty much. Would it be better to go for 4000 series for AV1? I mean, it's meant to be a temporary solution. It does not have to be a perfect solution. And again, Barutu, I don't know what is available on Java right now. Don't know how else to tell you guys that. I mean, if you find a great deal on it, go for it. Absolutely. But that's questionable, you know? People between Gen X and Gen M, like your birth proximity, have a perfect balance of past cynicism and future optimism. I definitely am still an optimist. I can't seem to shake it, despite my best efforts. Okay, so H Killing, there we go. Got you marked down. Just checking on It's Epic G, making sure that you're still paying attention. You're still here in chat. And I'm sure you guys can see why I don't just like go through the list and help everybody, even when they're not responding, because you've heard me have to ask all these different questions as I'm going along. That kind of means that there would be potentially more questions for the next version of the questionnaire, but like I don't want to make it too comprehensive, which can be a little bit intimidating. Do not want to do that. That's a Gen M dominance, is it? I don't know if a generation would have much to do with that aspect of someone's personality, but maybe. Now, for those of you who need to hear this, essentially, if you're waiting for help and you want to get on the list, there's one way to do it for Twitch and one way to do it for YouTube. On Twitch, you'll see the link pop up from Stream Elements every 5 minutes or so, where it'll say, want help getting the right PC for your budget and needs? Fill out this form, and there's a link at the end of that paragraph. Click on that, fill out the form, and you'll get on the list that you see right here. If you're watching on YouTube, it's easier for you. All you got to do is go to the description of the stream, click the very first link that's in there, and that will take you to the Google form that you need to fill out in order to get good help from me to get a PC pre-built or parts list for a DIY build. Either way. Now, if you have filled out the form and you're waiting for help, there is a step that might seem arbitrary to you, but it's important to me because I'm giving free help and it's just a simple instruction for you to follow. If you're watching on Twitch, it's very easy to do this. As long as you're following the Twitch channel, you get a free emote that says, I'm on the list. Please drop that emote in chat and that will help point me to the people who are actually here and waiting for help. If you're watching on YouTube, the step that you need to take now once you fill out the form is to type at Brayathorn, just at and my name, I'm on the list. You do need to spell my name correctly, please. This is the test. This is the Herculean task you must overcome in order to get free help with getting the right PC or parts list for your budget. At Brayathorn, I'm on the list if you have filled out the form and are waiting for help. The reason y'all need to do this step, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube, is because you might have filled out the form 2 weeks ago. And just this is the first time you were able to come back. I won't automatically know that you're waiting for help. So that is how you let me know. Of course, there are other ways that you can say, other ways you can string words together to let me know, hey, you have a form from me and I'm here. I'm just asking you to do it in a specific way because when you type out my name in YouTube chat, it highlights that chat for me. It highlights my name. So if I have to go back and reference who said they were here later on or something like that, I can just scroll through and my name is highlighted, so I'll know that that's what that one's about. What's up, humanity? How's it going? V for V. It's a chronological horoscope for sure, just vague and obtuse enough not to be completely proven wrong. Like me. Nice. V for V. That is a interesting line to draw there. Yeah, Alice, I don't subscribe to the idea that anyone who could be considered a baby boomer is going to be like willfully obtuse and prejudiced against younger generations and things like that. I don't subscribe to that. I know you said earlier I'm one of those baby boomers. You've been here, you've heard all of my rantings, and it's never bothered you. I think we agree on a lot of stuff, and that just goes to show you. You can't look at someone's birth year and say, they will act and feel this way. a little dumb to feel that way. But memes are what they are, unfortunately. Clone Smurf, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Yo, Visual Nate, how's it going? Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Look at that, 18 months. Good lord. Ola Braithorn, I'm building a Unity game and trying to determine the minimum specifications needed to run it. Your thoughts? Copy any other Unity game when it comes to the minimum requirements. That's it. It's that easy. The homework has been done for you. Also, another good thing to do, Nate, is to go to like the Steam hardware survey and look at some of the specs that the most gamers have, and you can also aim for that for your minimum. But it has to work. Brash, oh my god, how are you? It's been a minute. Braithorn, I bought a Wii U in 2025. Did I make a mistake? I don't know. Did you? Did you pay full price for a used thing or something? I don't know. But welcome back. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. I don't think buying a console is a mistake if you can get the games for it, if it's not all like digital stuff. So, you know. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting that just to play Wind Waker HD, which we're not getting apparently, because with the Switch 2 announcement, they announced that there was going to be the GameCube stuff, and we're getting like the original version of Wind Waker. I never played Wind Waker. I always wanted to. We're getting like the original version of Wind Waker instead of the HD version, which is like, just release the HD version, man. You did it with Skyward Sword. Do that with Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, please. But again, Nate, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Not gonna lie, I missed my Wii Sports. Yep. The Wii was really a phenomenon. The Wii U, less so, but, you know, it's the Wii with better hardware and an interesting controller. Okay, Justin at Braithorn, I'm on the list. Perfect. There we go. I will mark you down. Still waiting on word back from It's Epic G. But we're going to go ahead and move on to H-Killing Gamer, if that's Gaming, rather. H-Killing Gaming, if that's going to take a little too long for It's Epic G, but we can move back to It's Epic G after H-Killing, if they do return and say something and drop that I'm on the list emote for us, because I want to help them out. So yeah, please respond. But yeah, we've been waiting for a while, so we're going to be moving right along. Wii U is a console that I haven't used before. This would be exciting. Yeah, no, it is a cool console. Very light in demand. It even ran reasonably well in a notebook Intel XSI onboard GPU. Wow. Well, there you go. Then you can have pretty light requirements. I'm going to tell you this, Nate. I think a lot of people ignore minimum requirements when they're getting a game. Oh, damn. A 3-hour documentary, Tenmei? By the way, what's up? Hello. The Death of Affordable Computing. Tariffs, Impact, and Investigation. Damn. Wait. Oh, resubscribed for 9 months. Wait, hold on. Nate, does that mean that you subscribed for 9 months at once? Out of curiosity? Just wondering. I don't quite get the way that Twitch is wording that. Yeah, H-Killing, you're good. You're gonna be first here. We're gonna get started. Angry Beaver, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Nate, what kind of game you're building though? Kind of curious. Skylar Lopez, what's up? How's it going? Welcome. I've already been like, so like right there, because we were talking about a sword before, right there, and it'll like kind of go over the pegboard just a little. It's gonna be like right over my head. That, or like maybe there, right there. I have to do everything backwards, so it's a little weird. Or I don't know. I think central would be really cool, but I would reframe. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think I can actually reframe this right now. Let me see. That's a little off kilter. I need to fix my camera. Okay. Anyways, you get what I'm saying, but I hope you're doing well. HK, sure thing. All right, so let's take a look at your form submission here. Let me ask you first, what is the actual maximum amount of money dollars for your build? It should be within this range of 2,500 to 3,000, but we don't need a range. We need an actual max number. You are looking for pre-built. You're looking for gaming and streaming. Not sure about your resolution, but at 2,500 to 3,000, you're going to be looking at the minimum 1440p. And you're looking for it in white. Awesome. Oh, we're doing 2 white builds tonight. Look at that. Look at that. Very cool. And looking for Alexander PCs. So that gives us everything we need to know right there. Please stop adjusting it live. My head is aching. That's live streaming. I just adjust things sometimes. I don't know why my desktop is acting weird like that, but it is. Sometimes I just need to adjust stuff live, and I apologize for that. But yeah, it is what it is. Sorry about that. But you'll see me do these zooms and stuff. That's not quite exactly like adjusting everything. Well, I guess it technically is. 3K. All right, cool. Let's adjust this. Let's get it going. I love this. This is so cool. The Legendary Series states that it starts at 3088. I think we're going to bypass this and just go to all... I guess we could say AMD gaming desktops. But let's take a quick look at ready-to-ship PCs. I don't give these enough attention, I think. 7800X3D with a 9070 XT, all in white for $29.98. Yo. Hold up, though. Wait, did this say sold out? It's not sold out. They have this right now. All right, decent I/O, actually. Interesting choice of color cables there. I hope you would like that. I hope you do like that. I love this XFX 9070 XT. And by the way, with the 9070, you do get things like there we go. We can look in a little closer. Here we go. So looking at the I/O here, quad USB 3.0, and then these are USB 2.0, and then 2 10 gigabit. So, all right, it's not too bad. So that's 8 USB Type A's, and then you get the 20 gig USB Type C, and probably a 10 gig. Yeah, that's what it says right there, 10 gig. It's pretty decent. It is an awesome looking motherboard for this build too, with the gray PCB and all the silver accents. That's a gorgeous PC. And they have this light plate back here with the Alexander PCs. What kind of soldier is it? Like a Centurion? I'm not sure. Red and white cables look great. They do look pretty good. It's a total of 18 months, maybe 9 in a row. Dang. It's a little different in that it is a branded game for using to interact with people at events. Oh, very cool. Mikey Mike loves the fans. I can make you a VR first-person Squid Game. Oof. Sounds like a lot of work. So we have reverse flow fans. No, those are standard fans. But I will say Lee makes the back of their fans look really nice, including RGB on the back as well. So the reverse flow, not super necessary there. And it looks like they're using the Lee AIO with a medallion in the center that is Alexander PC branded, which looks super cool. So this is a solid option. Let's look at the rest of the specs. 7800X 3D, 8 cores, 16 threads, gaming and streaming, not a problem on that. Is Asus ROG Strix B850. Okay, -A, gaming Wi-Fi. 32 gigs Kingston Fury Beast DDR5 6000 CL30, perfect specs for AMD. 2 terabyte Kingston NV3. All right. 6000 megabyte per second sequential read speeds. 9070 XT Swift OC White from XFX. 011 Evo in white. 6 Leanly Unifan SL Infinity White that go with the 3 fans that come with the AIO. Power supply is a RM1000X, 1000 watt, gold rated, fully modular power supply. Windows 11 Pro, sleeve cable extensions, Alexander PC's light plate, and AIO cover. And the cooler is a Galahad 2 Trinity SL Infinity 360 in white. So this is a solid option. Let's keep that in mind. That one would ship within 24 business hours. So that's really nice. But what are they saying? 9000 series Radeon cards apparently are very good for encoding and have a single click setting that you can do in OBS to get the best settings out of it without needing to have NVIDIA for every streaming PC out there. Triple B, what's going on? Welcome. How's it going, buddy? I was looking at the Legionnaire 2.0. Let's take a look at that. I imagine there's no pictures of it in white, I guess, but you can get it in white. Now, the thing about it is, white GPU might not be available for this, just so you know. The question is whether to go Intel or AMD. If you go AMD, you can then choose a processor. Like it can go up to the 9800X 3D. Not necessary if you're going anything above 1080p for resolution, but it will get better productivity performance than a 7800X 3D. It's something to keep in mind. What AIO cooler is that? It's the one I mentioned. The Leanly Galahad 2 Infinity. There's other words and letters in there, for sure. Just got that Legionnaire 2.0 fantastic PC. Yeah, I do like this case too. Looks like a Gamdias case, and looks like Gamdias did a good job with it. Now let's take a look at. Wait, we chose white though. Is that not going to change the motherboard to a white motherboard? I guess not. I wish they had a white motherboard option. There's a lot out there at this point. That's been a big change in the motherboard industry. Let's see GPU. 9070, 5070, 5070 Ti is an option there. Basically, you can max this thing out if you want. 64 gigs of RAM. Why not? Rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. If your streams are going to get really complicated and you're playing games that are going to need a lot of RAM to begin with, like Escape from Tarkov or heavily modded games, they do tend to use more RAM. You can go up to a 4 terabyte drive, and we're still under 3K. You can get an additional drive too if you want, but with 4 terabytes, you probably will not need one for a long time, unless you're recording a lot of streams locally. So this makes it $28.48 before my discount that you get with code Brayathorn, which takes $50 off any PC on the site. So this is another option. Star Citizen. I'm not sure how Star Citizen is, but since it's still an alpha, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna venture to guess that it's not fully optimized yet. What's up, Super T30? Hope you're doing well. Wii Party Squid Game Edition. So I'm going to leave this up to you. The thing about this is that you're not going to get that color scheme that maybe you might be looking for. But let's compare the motherboard. Mostly the I/O, which is what I would be most interested in. You're going to get slightly better I/O on this, where you get an additional USB Type-C, but the two that are here are USB 4, so 40 gigabit per second. You also get one extra USB Type-A versus the 4 that you get in the other one. You get 5 gigabit Ethernet rather than 2.5, which is what I believe this one had right here. It was 2.5 gig Ethernet. Yes, 2.5 gig Ethernet. They both have Wi-Fi 7, though. But a big difference, though, and you can tell me whether this is important to you, well, other than it not having a 5070 Ti, but instead having a 9070 XT, which they are competitive with each other, is going to be the aesthetics. This one has a white and gray motherboard with silver accents rather than a black motherboard. This one has a white GPU rather than whatever GPU you might get with the NVIDIA setup with the 5070 Ti. They straight up say we can't guarantee a white GPU, and the motherboard is shown to be a black themed motherboard, which is fine. But this is also going to have more RAM, 64 gigs. Actually, what's the RAM in this? 32, right? 32 gigs of 30 gigs a year, 6000. So this has also double the RAM. You might not need that, but if you're going to be playing Star Citizen and streaming it, maybe you do. I think that is the only white build in my price range. Well, they both are, because you said 3000 was your price range. This one is $29.98 ready to ship. So that would be $29.48 after my discount. Shipping is included in the price. So yeah, that's within range. Although I don't factor shipping when you give me your budget. So both of these are within your range. This one is about $100 more. Or $150 more, rather. This one will come out to $27.98. With all these options I picked. I shifted it to AMD, chose the white build, which does not include the motherboard. It includes a case, memory, CPU cooler, and fans. Not the GPU or the motherboard. I have you on the 9800X3D, rather than what this one has, the 7800X3D. I put you on the 64 gigs of RAM, the 4 terabyte KC3000 drive, which is an awesome drive, and the 5070 Ti. That's what brought it up to this price. Both of them are going to get the lifetime warranty. You don't have to worry about that. But you also get to pick the color of the cables in this one. Whereas this one is ready to ship. It is built. It is ready to ship. So hopefully like the red, gray, and white cables. One thing to consider, though. This build has a more expensive case, more expensive fans, and likely a more expensive cooler. Let's see what cooler comes in this one. CPU cooler, Gambias Chion P5 360 with an LCD display. So yeah, it has an LCD display on the cooler, which is cool, but it is an overall cheaper cooler with cheaper fans. You have less cooling in this one. Well, actually, no. This one, actually, one feature of this is it's going to be a negative airflow setup. 4 exhaust fans, 2 intake fans. That's not inherently bad. You might end up dusting it a little bit more over time, but that's it. Anyway, you have 2 good choices. I'll go ahead and link them both. The thing is, with this one, you do need to go in and spec everything yourself. Spec it to AMD, choose white, choose a 9800X3D. I did upgrade the motherboard to the X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi. Wait. Oh, there's X670E versus X870E. I'd do the X870E for $80. I would do that. I mean, it's within budget. You're going to get better memory compatibility. I don't know what the I/O difference is, but I think it's better on the Tomahawk, X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi. 4 terabytes of storage, 64 gigs. You got to change all that stuff. Maybe this having the variant in there will do it for you. I'm not sure. Was talking about the custom built option. Oh, yeah. That's the only white build in your price range? Yes. The thing about it is, if you're looking, if you were like, oh, I like that ready to ship one, this one could be gone in an hour. And they wouldn't have another one necessarily. So I'm going to link both of them to you and have both of them in the thing in the spreadsheet for you. That second link is a ready to ship one. That's the code to get $50 off either of those. Do the XRD chips make a noticeable difference in performance when gaming at 1440p or 4K? Tanmay Panati, no, they don't. And I've said that many times. If you have the option to get it, you can, especially if you're going to be doing things like, oh, you know what? Because I don't know how CPU intensive Star Citizen is. It could be that it's like Microsoft Flight Simulator. I have no idea. I need to ask the Poets about that, actually, see what he has to say about it. Civ 6 and City Skylines with mods can get really VRAM heavy. Oh yeah. Legionnaire looks like a cool build too. They both look good, and they both have lifetime warranty and all that good stuff. So yeah. Maximizing my virtual RAM purchases on trusted online websites, I can plow through desktop games like Yoda's Temple Toppler with only 4 gigs of physical RAM. No problem, Redux Fox. Okay. Just a Lemming, what's going on? Star Citizen is very CPU sensitive. Okay, X3D then. But I just wonder if that's at 1080p or if that also only at 1080p or if it also goes to 1440p and higher resolutions. Triple B says, super pumped to be chilling here and join the stream with the community while annihilating gumbo, hush puppies, and catfish, just celebrating with food and my fellow nerds. Did you bring enough to share with the rest of the class? Braxton, thank you for the lurk. Hope you're doing well. TTR needs a Steam release. Okay. But just Lemming, thank you for weighing in on that. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Right, thank you, Braythorn. No problem, HK, sorry. There you go. You're good. And I hope that those are good options for you. I believe they are. Now, Justin. Just lurking like normal. Always appreciated. Thank you very much. I do appreciate a good lurk. And every lurk is a good lurk, so... If I pair 7700X with a 9070 XT on a B650M, a good combo? Why the M? Is that do you have a micro ATX case? If not, go for a full ATX motherboard. And also, Tanmay, you know the deal. You got to let me know for what context, like what use case, then I can tell you. Okay. So yeah, just checking that Justin is still here over in YouTube land. Are you still here? I'm thinking about the Lean Lee A3. Right. But what would this PC be used for? You know, that's the #1 question. And like what resolution, that kind of stuff. Gaming mostly? Then sure. Yeah. You don't have to get the X either. If you can find a great deal on the Ryzen 7 7700 non-X, if you save $50 or something on that, then get that one. Because gaming at 1440p or higher the X is not going to make a difference. Plus, you can run it with a smaller cooler and have zero problems. he has a 4K monitor, then yeah, CPU even less important at that point. If it's mostly gaming, you could even go with like a 7600X if it would save enough. There's certain times where you're not paying. Maybe there's between a 6-core 12-thread CPU and an 8-core 16-thread CPU, there's a $50 difference, and you might feel like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get the extra cores, but like, really, it's not that important with 4K gaming. 4K gaming is like, except unless it's a game that you know is CPU intensive, you just don't need a lot of CPU for 4K gaming. Which is, to me, like, I've been conflicted about the X3D chips for so long because of this. Like, you're not going to buy a $480 CPU for a budget PC where you're gaming a lot at 1080p, where it would make the most difference. You're going to buy it for a higher end build, and unless you're a competitive gamer, you're going to be gaming at 1440p or 4K. So it's in such a weird position because of that. That's why when the 5600X3D, 7600X3D, all those came out, it was such a big deal. Because, like, yo, that's a crazy value for gaming, and it makes a lot more sense. Just waiting on word from Justin Ackerman. Grant, what's going on? I think the X3D a good, but are kind of a waste when you could save the money for comp. But yeah, I mean, if you're bringing your GPU down an entire tier just so you can get an X3D chip, just because every reviewer out there is like, this is the best gaming CPU, and all the charts they're showing are at 1080p. Like, if you watch the Gamers Nexus 9800X3D review video, it was chart after chart at 1080p, and then when they did show a 1440p chart, it was like a straight line down like 3/4 of those CPUs, or half of them at least, where there was almost no difference. The dialogue should shift to like, do you need this at this price point? Does it make sense? Because they're so excited about something being the best, and everyone's expecting it to be the best. So if a video says it's the best, they're going to click on it. That it's like, why is the dialogue not about the value of it? Now, have I used it before? Yes. Am I happy that they made it to where you can overclock it and where it's like less thermally sensitive and where it has better frequencies? I'm very happy about that. And I will recommend it in high-end builds because, like, why not, right? If your budget is high enough, then that difference of price between like a 7700X or 9700X and a 9800X3D, that difference in price is a much smaller percentage of your overall price for your PC. So then it's fine. But if you're at like $1,500 for your budget, $1,400, and you're convinced that you need X3D in your build for your 1440p gaming machine, you've been convinced wrong. You've been led wrong. And that sucks, because that's our job. They could have done a better GPU. Yep. That's a problem. I know people have fixed PCs for, and they are a X3D CPU, but a mid GPU. Yeah, I know. Getting caught in the hype train, says Tammy. Very true. Braithorn, I'm still here. Awesome. I do have case preferences. Either the Height Y70 Touch Infinity or the Thermaltake Tower 600. Both white preferably, and preferably an AIO, but I am flexible with the cooler. Oh boy. Oh, you want a parts list? Oh, that's easy. Okay. All right. Now you're doing this for gaming and streaming and content creation and video editing. I'm going to tell you no Y70. Sorry. I'm going to go Tower 600, not Y70. Why? Because you cannot put something like a full-size PCIe card in a Y70. You can't do it. So if you're trying to add an internal capture card that is not low profile, which is most of them, you're screwed. If you're trying to add in more USB ports, like that. This is a full width PCIe card. And you cannot add that in a Y70 Touch or a Y60 or a Y40. I love those cases. Aesthetically, they're awesome. Build quality, they're awesome. But that's a huge limitation for anybody wanting to stream who eventually intends to get serious about it. Oh yeah, I got you. No, Tenmei, they already did that. Look, if you see that it's in purple, Tenmei, they've already done that. You don't need to ask them to do that again. Anyway. So it looks like we're doing Columbus, Ohio Micro Center. We got to see if they have the case in stock at that Micro Center. Tower 600 has been a little hard to find. It's a cool case, but they're not great for streamers, creators. Yep. Gamers for sure can use it. Yep. Let's do a custom PC builder. We'll change the location. Yeah, there are 0 white Thermaltake cases here. You might just need to order that online. Thankfully, cases aren't usually in a spot where they can be DOA in any way, where you'd have to take it back and exchange it. So, now if we select height, they do have the Y70 Touch Infinite. But again, it is not recommended for your use case whatsoever. Like I said, Tower 600 is one of my preferred as well. Yeah, they don't have it here. You'll just need to order that online, which is no problem, you know, like usually, unless it is a problem for you. But I would say that you're good to do that. We'll do every other part here, though. As long as they have GPUs. Let's find out, because GPUs for builds are the hard part right now. Now, let me ask you this. What is your actual maximum budget for your build? In this range of $2,000 to $2,500, where do you land on the actual amount of money dollars you can spend on your build? Maximum. I have case preferences too, to the point I was even willing to get an 8 gig Wii U just to have it in white. Yeah? Thank you for the alert, Crash. I appreciate it. We'll need to do... I'll just go to PC Part Picker for this. We'll need to find the case, get the price on it and everything. All right, let's just do that. Why am I so zoomed in here? Good Lord. Not Tower 6000. We're not there yet. Okay, the Tower 600 in white is not showing a price. It is out of stock on both Newegg and B&H. Let me check something else real quick. All right, it's available on Amazon for $283 versus the $185 or $199 price that you see on Newegg or B&H. That's crazy. Can you get it directly from Thermaltake USA? 'Cause 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 ' Notify me when available. So it's basically being somewhat scalped on Amazon right now for $283. All right, V for V, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. He said 2,700. I don't know. I don't think I have the energy to do the roast right now. You get off easy. Thank you, Tech Brent, for the lurk. I appreciate it. The Force Gaming Network for Nerds says, do you think it will be possible to keep a 2023 gaming PC around 5 to 10 years from now? 7700X 4070. Unfortunately, TFG NFN, I don't know where gaming is going to be 5 to 10 years from now. I cannot tell you what gaming is going to require 5 to 10 years from now. The good thing about PCs is that they're upgradable. So in about 5 years, you upgrade the GPU and you're going to be golden. That would mean you got 7 years out of that 4070 and you're good to go. We don't know what monitor technology is going to be popular at that point. Whether everyone's going to be on 1440p or like 4K is going to be the minimum or whatever. It's 5 to 10 years in the PC world is insane. It's a long amount of time. A lot can happen in that amount of time. But also, you're on socket AM5, and that's going to be supported for years to come. So you'll have CPU and GPU upgrade options, so you should be fine. Okay, 2700 max. So yeah, normally, just so you know, Justin, this would qualify you for the... if you ignore the instructions, any questions, you agree to be roasted on stream. But I don't know. I am feeling it tonight. I just feel like helping you out. So I do get to decide who gets roasted or not. Talk to wife. That's what we can do. You got it. Crash says, honestly, I'm hoping motion controls make a comeback. Did you see the Switch to a Nintendo Direct? Because there's a lot of motion controls in there. Yo, chat, do I buy an MP3 player first or a capture card? Wow, Bucket, you're really on a mission here. What do you need more? The capture card sounds like more of a need thing than MP3 player. So yeah, thankfully, Justin, that extra couple $100 is going to help you get the case you really want if you want to get it off of Amazon, because it is being overpriced right now. It is being scalped right now on Amazon, unfortunately, with 7 in stock. So if you just look for Tower 600 white on Amazon, you'll find the one I'm looking at for $283. I'm surprised that PC Part Picker doesn't show Amazon as a source, because even when it's being scalped, they'll show it. But what are you going to do? Let's do the rest of it. I was looking at graphics cards. Oh, Lord. There's a white 5080 here for $1,615. And there's one left. That is a lot. However, 9070 XT. Well, let's look at your use case here, okay? Oh, shut up. Why are you leaving the builder today? Okay. Let's see. Too confusing to use. What is computer, lol? There we go. So gaming, streaming, content creation, and video editing. Normally, I would look at this and say, NVIDIA, content creation, yeah. But first off, Radeon GPUs do quite well when it comes to DaVinci Resolve if you're going to be using that for video editing. What video editing software are you going to be looking at? Okay. Not bad. For Lightroom, pretty good. Premiere Pro, not doing super great. It is below the 5070 for Premiere Pro. So if you're using Premiere Pro, you're going to want to go with NVIDIA, pretty much. Like, there are a lot of NVIDIA cards that are around the same price, if you can get them, that do better. Let's see. But if we look at After Effects, it's way down here. Good Lord, what's going on, AMD? What are you doing? Oh, man, I'm going to have to look at this and be like, yeah, it's not great for content creation, that 9070 XT. Resolve mentioned. Oh, of course. I wish I could break out of the Adobe ecosystem. Even though I'm not upgrading my PC, I love watching tech videos like these. It's always a joy seeing someone get a nice PC. Yeah. I mean, it is tough to navigate right now. It's tough to navigate this landscape at the moment. TFNFN. TFGNFN. TFGNFN. If anyone, you're saying thanks for the confidence boost. You're very welcome. I can wait for the case. Do you know what you're going to use for video editing? Now, the thing is, I guess I was thinking about AMD CPUs, not GPUs, because they are not doing good at all for anything here, actually. I guess Topaz Video AI, it's doing okay. Really good, actually. Right up there with a 5090 and 4090. Oh, under it, but, you know, close. Unreal Engine 5, it does all right. For GPU enhancements in Resolve, you need to purchase a studio version. On free version, it is CPU only. So if you're doing free version only, then you can go with AMD and be fine. Honestly, I'm hoping motion... Yes, I meant the Wii Sports casual me kind of sense motion... Okay, yeah, I got you. I want to go back to the days of playing Wii with Grandma. I think we all want to go back to those days. Simpler times. Much simpler times. Okay, well... $2,700. And looking at something like... just so much better on NVIDIA, man. Like, a lot. AMD needs to step up their game in content creation, and software companies need to work with them better. I mean, $1499 for this one white one here, white 5080, which would put you, let's say we're looking at Premiere Pro. 5080 is third place right now out of every GPU on the market, only behind the 4090 and 5090. 5080 is in third place. Look at the 5070 Ti, though. Look at that. Look at that. It's right there with the 5080 for hundreds of dollars less. Damn. Eating, folks. Happy Oblivion Day. What's up, Dozilla? Oblivion Day sounds like the scariest holiday of all time. Good Lord. Although, I guess you could say that April 20th could also be considered that, but it was Easter this year also. I have to say, that is a cool looking 9070 XT. I like that design, but no one sent me one, so whatever. I guess in Lightroom is the only place where it actually keeps up, because like in Lightroom, it beats the 5090, okay? But that doesn't beat the 4080 or 5080. Premiere Pro, though, it's just all NVIDIA. All of this is NVIDIA. Justin, were you able to, can you tell me what? I guess it doesn't matter. You should get an NVIDIA card. Okay. So you might not be able to get a white GPU for your white build, because I'm going to recommend a 5070 Ti very likely. So it won't be a white GPU. Not unless you want to get a 5070 Ventus 2X. I mean, hell, you could get the 5080 for a lot less here for $13.99. That's doable. That is doable. Video editing was an accidental click. Sorry.
Let's go, nerds!
What do you mean? Why are you telling me now? Why didn't you start, lead with that? I said it at the very beginning. What? Why tell me now? I was just obsessing over this. Why do people do this? Like, lead with that when I'm like, okay, you're doing gaming, streaming, and content creation. Misclick. I'm trying to hide from the stupid. Stop it. Never mind. Jeez, it's okay. Now it's going to be good at following me around. Great. Chat, I have a request for you. If there's something that will fundamentally change the way the build goes, please lead with saying like, oh, by the way, this was a misclick, or by the way, this is not as important. Okay. Moving right along. I'm just going to go ahead and go to this Puget Bench one and just close that because we don't need it. And you're getting a 9070 XT. Hey, look, I have essential tremors. My hands shake outside of my control all the time. It gets commented on all the time if I'm showing something on camera. Hey, why are you nervous? Why are your hands shaky? And then I'm like, I have a condition. Thank you for pointing it out in your unique way. So I deal with that all the time. That was just a choice, though, to not correct yourself. It's okay. So gaming and streaming. Do you need it for streaming too? Because you said gaming and streaming. Is streaming still a thing? But I feel you on the shakiness thing. I do. Just feel free to speak up if something like that happens. Nothing to be embarrassed over, for sure, because I deal with that all the time. New mic? Well, only because I'm on a new audio interface here, and the monitoring Triple B is delayed, and it drives me crazy. Peter, thank you for the 100 biddies. I appreciate the consolation biddies. Thank you. It's Earth Day, says Rutu. Did you plant any trees? No, but I gave the dirt a birthday cake earlier. I did not know that, Crash. How about a lump of coal in the Christmas stocking? No, that's okay. But yeah, no, Justin, I get it. I have essential tremors. Like I deal with that every day. I feel you. It's not fun to deal with. Let's do this. But yeah, let me know. Do you still, because you chose not just that, gaming and streaming. Is streaming still a thing? By the way, it's Epic G. Did you ever come back, by the way? Are you still just lurking? You're still just lurking. You can let me know you're here because you are next. But what's up, Tough? How's it going? Bray B sodded. Yep. I mean, it's a safe bet that wasn't released in North Korea. I mean, maybe it will be next year. Like maybe that'll be them catching up. I was talking with Liz at Alexander PC. She told me to do a custom build to lock in a white 5070 Ti. Also, what's your thoughts on adding a 1000 watt power supply for later down the road? That's totally fine. I can get behind that. HK, good choice. Also, aren't the people at Alexander PC just cool? They're cool people. If you're doing a custom build over the phone, though, be sure they know that you want that $50 off with code Brayathorn. Because you won't, I guess you won't be doing it through like the online thing. So just waiting on word from Justin whether streaming is still going to be on the list for your use case here. If not, then I can just choose a bundle. Let's look at the bundles real quick while we're waiting. 7700X, B650 ORS Elite AX, and 32 gigs DDR5 6000. That is a nice motherboard for this. It's a really nice motherboard for this because it'll match the white build really nicely. Might go 9700X though. Better temps, better efficiency, all that. Justin, it's okay. Like we moved past that already. Now we're talking about whether you're going to be streaming or not. Like I said, it's totally fine. I get it. I deal with that every day. It sucks. Can be between these two then. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, for streaming, this isn't a bad motherboard for that either. Their I/O is pretty solid. Just to show that off here, decent I/O for sure. For streaming, very, very good, especially at this price point of $219. Inland Performance Plus 2 terabyte, down to $125.99. Very nice. Very good drive. I have multiple in use right now. Streaming and gaming, yes. Cool. Now the case, I will leave that to you to figure out. You know you want the Tower 600 in white, so you're good there. Power supply. I don't think you can use an edge in there. Well, it kind of technically is dual chamber-ish. Let me look that up real quick. I already did look it up. Let's see here. Yeah, you can't. No, I'd probably go with this. Let me see. Oh, that's right. This one might be a little difficult for I/O as well for streaming. Let's see here. Yeah. Or no, you can just have your GPU be like that. Okay. So you would move it over here though. And then have your other cards like right there. So it's going to be like you'll have to run any capture card or whatever. You have to run it. You have to run your HDMIs in there, but it's designed to be able to accommodate that. So you're good. They do always show it with the GPU showing this way, but I would have it facing the normal way and plugged directly into your system in a standard fashion. That's how I would do it. Through email, they will send me a link. Oh, okay, cool. Still, neither of those cases super great for streaming. I'm gonna go ahead and call that, but it's okay. This one should be better than the Y70 because you're not getting low profile PCIe slots, so that's good. But I was looking at the positioning of the power supply. Because currently one of my favorite, it's just right there. I think you can put a standard power supply in there and you'll be fine. But I don't think you can do the leanly edge power supply. That's currently one of my favorite ones because of the value you get. The connectors are super nice, all that stuff. But yeah. Okay, so let's try to go for 1,000 watts in white if it's there. It is not. Okay, so we'll go with this guy here. It is a cool case, though. You're right, Robert. Robert, I hope you're doing well. I believe I said hi to you earlier, but just in case I didn't, hi. Okay. Do they have the Thermaltake power supply that'll fit with? No, they don't. What's their 420mm one? Asus ProArt. Nope. It's cool, but it doesn't match the color scheme. And it's very expensive. I see a nice Corsair one, but my thing about Corsair is you don't get anything Corsair unless you're getting everything Corsair. Just to be clear. Galahad 2 Trinity SL Infinity is nice if you're going all Lee and Lee fans, which you could choose to do. Okay, I said hi earlier, been here just watching. I like to make sure. You know me. Could just go with the King Cool one. I wish they carried the Thermalright ones. They're very impressive. Or the Montec ones in the larger size, because usually they just have the 240. Let me select the Lee and Lee and see where we're at on the price. $18.25. Damn. I want to point out though, yes, we're looking at $889 for the RX 9070 XT, and that's a lot. It is still just about half the price of a 5080, and it's near 5080 performance. That's crazy, man. NVIDIA, like, get a hold of your AIB partners, because their pricing is insane, and then distribution's pricing is getting crazy, and they're starting to scalp two suppliers, two retailers and SIs. It's just bad, man. Biggest tech company in the world, and they can't get a hold of their own partners. Yeah, well, whatever. Anyways. Why is that? Why is what? Why not facing you? Because you want to be able to put in things like internal capture cards or things like that. And if you do that, have it facing you, there's two things that happen, okay? First off, look at where your intake is, okay? Intake is here on the left. And you can have intake fans right there as well. You are turning your GPU fans away from that intake, okay? And you're also, let me see where the picture was that can help us. Okay. Let me see. Where was the one I was looking at for reference here? There. You're also blocking off all of your other PCIe slots. So that's one thing. But yeah, and you're turning it away from the intake. That's the main thing. Those two things. Plus, in order to do this, you have to put it on a riser cable. And riser cables have been a little wonky lately. A little wonky lately. So I would have it facing to where the intake is for better cooling. And so you can have, and you'd also be mounting it over here rather than over there. And you'd put any capture cards or additional USB cards or anything like that right there. So that's why. Now, if I built a showcase piece or just a strictly gaming PC, I'd probably be okay with putting it like this. But that's not what this is. This is for gaming and streaming. And you need to optimize for both use cases as much as you can. It's your build, though. You do it however you want. I'm just making a recommendation here. Now, the question is, do you want to go with all the Lee fans, all Thermaltake fans, anything like that? I don't know how many fans come with this. I don't think that many. I think you just get the ones in the top. And those are hidden. Looks like, yeah, it comes with 2 fans that are hidden away on the top. You can kind of use whatever fans you want. I decided to make a new save file in Stardew Valley. People who chronically play Stardew Valley Crash have like, the ones that I've known, have like 15 or 20 save files. So you're not alone in that. I got no business doing another build, but damn, I saw the NV7 and 9 cases with the new Be Quiet Lightwings fans, standard and reverse flow. Wait, standard? That's a Fantex case? How does it come standard with a competing brand's fans standard? Do you mean the new Fantex fans standard? Oh, what's up, Alucard? You on the top, maybe one on the bottom. I don't see it I don't see it shown here in the exploded view. So I don't know. Those risers are more missed than hit. I mean, generally, if it's from the manufacturer, they can be pretty good. But if you're getting a cheap one off of Amazon, they can be pretty miss. I personally love the Antec Performance 1. Have upgraded this case last month from TD500. Best investment I've ever made. The TD500 was nice, though. TD500 Mesh, that was a nice case from Cooler Master. Antec has been killing it, though. I corrected myself later. Got you. Just top then. Yep. Been liking the looks of that TT case if I didn't already have a Height Y70 non-touch. What's up, Simple Green? The reason I want this one is for this. I want the Future Dusk. And Thermal Mike, the pretty much head honcho over there that I've ever talked to anyway, said he's going to send me one. But they got to be available for sending out. So we'll see when that happens. I'm not a huge content creator, so it's like, whatever, right? But God, that color. I just... I don't know if they're going to be doing Future Dusk on their other cases, though. And there might be a better option for me in terms of, like, form factor. But I like this a lot. Anyways, let's finish this build. We're almost done. The only thing I need to do now is pick out the rest of your fans for you. You might want to do a couple of intake fans, a few intake fans on the side, but genuinely, it's up to you. Yeah, it does look nice. I have a YouTube short on it. Well, it's also on Instagram, but I have a YouTube short on it, Crash. Want to make another live mixer build with that case. That would be sick. I never got the purple live mixer board, and unfortunately, it's LGA 1700. The new GN video about tariffs is pretty deep. Yeah, I was told about that. I need to check it out. Thermaltake Mike has been doing this for so long. Man, his cases are pretty. They are. And he's a genuinely nice dude. He was in the short that I did. Last year, he asked me what color I think they should do the next time, because they did the hydrangea for Thermaltake's 25-year anniversary. And I was like, purple. You need to do the best color, purple. And he was like, he said he wanted to tell me that the purple one was confirmed, but he couldn't. So he's supposed to send me one. It was released an hour. Yeah. But yeah, the live mixer is the only purple one to do it. Yep. I would definitely check out your vid, Bray. Yeah, it's a short one, so that makes it easy to digest. I need to make more short form content, but I need to make more long form content. I've been off of it for months. And I hate when this happens, but there's a lot to it. Anyway, the only other thing we'd be missing is adding more fans. I'll go ahead, just so you have them on here, I'll go ahead and throw on some matching fans here, just so you have it. There we go. 3-pack of the white matching fans. So it's on the list. I love the H570 ARGB TG case too. So many good cases out there. And it's like, how do you choose? So we're literally $700 under budget. But that is without the case. And if you're going to pay $300 for a white Tower 600, that's going to go up to about $2,300. $22.20. Well, one thing you could do is if you want that extra dose of RGB, and to make it less of a hit that you can't have your GPU facing the front, check this out. There's this card here. Most popular. Shut up. Nobody cares, Micro Center. Oh, highest price. Here we go. This one here, which on the leading edge, and this one is about $50 more, okay? It's $50 more than the other one. But for that, what do you get? Let me show you. On the leading edge that would be facing the front of the case, you now have an RGB strip that is beautifully diffused. And on top of that, you also get the magnetic, easy-to-replace fans out of this. So I would say that, because you're way under budget, that's $50 well spent. IMO. So if it bothers you that I'm recommending you have the GPU facing sideways, this RGB strip is now going to be front and center because of that. So I would say it's worth it. I would love some white extension cables. All right. Oh, it doesn't like this. There you go. You can also really bump up your storage as well if you want to. I leave that up to you. You can just get a 4 gig version of this or get 2 of these. Up to you. Let's see. It would be under cables and adapters. There you go. Yeah, and the cool thing about that is that you're going to be using 8-pin PCIe cables, not a 12VH PWR, because finding a custom 12VH PWR or 12V 2x6 cable in a custom color can be pretty hard to find, a reliable one. So, yeah. Alucard, if they just want to get everything at Micro Center, it's not that huge of a price difference to get those cables. It's $30. So that's in keeping with decent cables. I agree that GPU is worth it. I'm glad to hear it. There you go. There's your build. Just missing the case. And anyone with a $2,000 budget, minus a case, of course, this thing is $1999.93. You'd still need a case, though, to be clear. I'd say that is a successful build there. Man, I always worry that I missed something these days. Did I miss anything? CPU, motherboard, RAM. And this is DDR5 6000 TL36. Not the lowest latency, but still very good for this. 2 terabytes of Inland Performance Plus. Very high performance storage with very good longevity. Better than most Samsung drives, actually. RM1000X for the power supply with Cybernetics Gold rating, ATX 3.1 compatible, not that it matters. But ATX 3.1 is not just about the connector, it's about other standards as well. Galahad 2 Trinity SL Infinity. This includes 3 extra matching fans, okay, that you can put as intake on the other side. and some sleeved extension cables. Everything's in here. We're good. No problem, Justin. You're good to go. Now, here's what you're going to have to do, though. You need to actually go in and save this build or add it to cart. Because if I do another Micro Center build tonight, this one is going bye-bye. It gets deleted because I don't have a Micro Center account I'm saving all these to, which I should probably do at some point. Maybe that'll be for the 2026 PC matchmaking setup. The RAM kit is black, 10 May. Yes, it's part of a bundle that brings the 9700X down to 207. Very good price on that CPU. The B650 EOS Elite down to 160, and it takes $8 off the RAM. The bundle is absolutely worth it, especially for this motherboard at $160. Are you kidding me? This is a fantastic motherboard. So, Justin, let me know once you have saved this build or added it to cart. I need to know that to make sure I don't delete your build by accident. What's up, John Paul Bacon? How you doing? I'm going to build my mother a basic PC, and I'm going to use the TD500 to build a 2070 i7 9700K gaming PC. Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's good that you're using those parts and that case. I mean, that'll be, for most people, just a perfectly fine gaming PC for 1080p or 1440p. There are white and purple ones if you want to get those on Amazon. I have seen those, yeah. Funny enough, I did get the B850 Aorus Elite Ice open box from Micro Center for $195 instead of $245. That's a great motherboard, too. Doing well, thanks. Happy to hear it. Justin, just confirm with me once you have that build saved, please. I will not feel confident in moving on otherwise. But we don't have anyone else who's waiting because apparently it's Epic G is just lurking. They have not yet come back to actually get their build done. It's Epic G. We need you here so I can do your build for you. And let me see. There we go. If they're just reading for some reason and not listening, there's that now. Is Windows 11 support on 9700K? Probably not 10 May, but maybe. It's mostly having to do with whether it's compatible with TPM 2.0 on the motherboard. Unless that's not a thing anymore. Who's listening to the stream on a home theater system? Because for whoever that is, it's party time, apparently. Alucard Steel Ball Run. We've been waiting for it for freaking ever, for anyone who likes the manga. And yes, I'm excited for it. Steel Ball Run is classic JJBA insanity, and I think we're all looking forward to it. Not just you, no. My wife would kill me. Sorry. Outlaw of Torn, do it. Like, let's get the nerd talk reverberating throughout the neighborhood. Can't wait for it myself. Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. And I think it's such a good decision to do that next. Man. Bringing back some classic, beloved characters and just insanity in Steel Ball Run. It's going to be great. I just checked to be sure MSFT doesn't even have an easy way to research. That sucks. They just have a massive never-ending table. That is annoying. IEM gang. Jamming on the headset. Anyone know how to do a light mustache in Stardew Valley? Mostly just beard. I just use a beard. I forget which number it is. Crash. I mean, it's kind of hard to go from there considering the end of Stone Ocean. It's true. That is true. It's funny because I don't know. Stone Ocean was pretty entertaining. I didn't know whether I would like it as much. And there were certain seasons where I was like, I don't really like this. My problem with JJBA that I will never get over is the animal cruelty that is completely unnecessary, serves zero purpose to the plot, does nothing for, like, there are so many ways to show that a character is bad or evil, and I don't know why it's so prevalent in that series, and it's why for years at a time I have written that series off. It just bothers the hell out of me. Like, I can't watch that. I can't enjoy. Like, who enjoys that? Crazy to me. Did you watch Solo Leveling? Yes. I'm probably behind by a couple episodes, Justin. Unfortunately, I need to catch up. But Solo Leveling it's definitely under that guilty pleasure category of just like, yo, this show's pretty cool. I do enjoy it. I don't know why. Like, okay, so the way I do this is where this is supposed to be my wide shot, and then I zoom in for when I want to emphasize something. But I feel like more comfortable with this amount of zoom in general. So should I make a further zoom for when I want to emphasize something and just never really use the full cam shot? I don't know. But I've got a question for you guys. I want to see what you think. I gotta find this. Where is it? There it is. What would y'all think if I built a... So I don't even know if it would need to be ITX for the build. What would you think if I built a wall-mounted PC behind this? Because I was talking to the content creation person behind Mini Katana, who I helped out with a PC. And I was like, y'all have the Hylian shield. This thing is 22.44 inches in height. Okay, it's not small. And I was thinking of it for just right up there, right there in the setup. You know, just because, I mean, look, can we see these? Are y'all seeing these right here? I clearly am a huge Legend of Zelda fan. All right. So what would y'all think about that being instead a wall-mounted PC build with that in front of it, basically, with like the RGB showing from behind it. What do y'all think? Zoom in on one eyeball for extra emphasis. Thank you, Simple Green. I'll take that into consideration. I'll also consider making a build using my old Height Y60 and theming it around Sung Jin Woo. Well, Alucard, hold off on that. I happen to know that they're, unless they've already done it, there is a certain company working on a collab. So hold off on that. Is it 3D printed? I actually don't know what the material is, but it's 6.6 pounds. Made with a galvanized sheet and zinc coating. Shield's a metal. It's a metal shield. Yeah, 6 pounds is not lightweight, but it's not, I don't know. They do have, by the way, a Master Sword. I don't really like the aesthetic of it. It's not a solid it's not that good looking of a Master Sword, I think. For a wall decoration, maybe, but shield material, a galvanized sheet, so it's sheet metal. Has a durability of 800. Ah, I love that. Love that. That's great. So this is where you would mount with a screw right there into the wall. It actually has the grips, the appropriate grips for it. That part, like this part, does look like 3D printed or injection molded at least. But it's hard to say. But the fact that the back of it has like wood looking panels there is kind of cool. It's not a wooden shield in universe. It's not canonically a wooden shield. So I'm not sure why they went with that. It's a metal shield, but like it looks so good. How would you keep airflow around it? It's going to be spaced off of a wall-mounted build. There are multiple wall-mounted cases that I could just mount this to. It's not going to be against the wall. It's going to be spaced out to where there can be a PC behind it. So airflow is not going to be a problem. Then you're all good. I was worried about it melting from PC heat. I'm excited for the upcoming game, Mind's Eye. Supposed to be really good, or if it's like the rest of the year, a massive disappointment. And there have been some good games. Yeah. Justin, I've not watched Kaiju number 8, actually. I want to, but I haven't seen it yet. I think they used the wood to match how they were made in the ancient times. They made steel shields, too, and metal shields, and bronze, all kinds of shields. But I think this would be super cool. Anyone else spend hours in character creators? Really in-depth character creators, yes. Crash. Not necessarily in the Stardew Valley one, because there's like not a lot of options there. But yeah, in really really in-depth character creators, yes. John Paul Bacon, that would be cool. I'm glad you think so. I think it would be some pretty cool collaborative content with them. I was wondering if I can make that shield with EVA foam. You can make like anything out of EVA foam. Yeah. EVA foam is going to be like down to your molding skills, of course, but also your painting skills. But here, because of the depth of the shield, because of the details, you can just make layers of it and then just overlay it and glue it together after you've painted it. And then, of course, you got to do some aging, weathering, stuff like that. I guess it could also be just like standing up like that on a desk. But damn, that's a good looking shield. I work with sheet metal for a living, so I wonder how I would make that. If you don't need to have this kind of depth, you can just have, laser cut layers of steel. I don't know. I'd be interested in seeing how this is. What do you guys think of a live unboxing once I get it? Would love to know what case in mind and how to mount the shield on it. I do remember ones from TechSource might work where you can use magnets to hold it up in front. It is 6.5 pounds. 6.5 pounds. Not only the magnets, but counterbalancing it would be important. But I would look actually at just any kind of ITX case where you can take all the panels off and have it be a frame I would reinforce that frame and probably just mount it to that somehow. Trust me, I can really push a character creator. Clearly. Getting a new Galaxy phone, by the way. Cool. I think a live unboxing would be a necessity. Absolutely. I used to make sand molds. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's funny because in our conversation about it, the blacksmithing thing came up, that I used to do blacksmithing. Because the idea, they were saying, like, what if you cut it in half and put it on both sides? And I'm just like, at that point, I'd rather just do 2 shields, like one on each side. Or what would be cool would be to do the Master Sword going through it at an angle. That'd be kind of cool. Like through the PC at an angle. That'd be kind of cool. Live unboxing sounds awesome. Not my usual thing I would unbox, but... Oh, there's one that comes to mind. I need to look up the name for a moment. It's from Cooler Master. Are you talking about the one that unfolds like that? Yeah. The something frame. I think also, well, it would be, if I do it as a PC build, that's going to be a live build. The only thing is, like, I got to figure out how I'm going to stand this thing up, how I would mount it. And if it's going to be wall mounted, I wouldn't be mounting it live like that. I'd need to see all the dimensions of this, not just the height, because the only thing it tells you is the height. Now, we can extrapolate from the height that it's about half as wide at the widest points as it is tall. So that's about less than a foot wide. It's not a lot to work with, honestly. So it's going to have to be an ITX build, and I might just end up making a plate for the back of it that mounts to the shield, and then have some standoffs that come off of that to mount to the wall. Just use an open bench and mount that shield on top. I do have an open bench desk, open bench thing. Yeah, could do that. The main thing is making it stable off the wall. Adam Williams, you want to cable manage a PC hanging on the wall above a window? Good luck with cable management. That's when I would just run cables through conduit in the wall. But also, if I make this into a PC, it's not going above me, above the window. That's not happening. It would be probably in the corner instead, which I was showing earlier, would be like right there. That's where it would go instead. Maybe replace the Twitch sign there. Just move that somewhere else, like up there or something, and just have it right there on the wall. The downside is I would like it to be central to a setup, but whatever. What are you going to do? You could fabricate it to a case by welding it to some rods. Depends on what material this is actually made out of. Because it just says galvanized sheet. And if you're going to be doing anything like welding or soldering to galvanized metal, you need to have a ventilated area. Just a heads up to everybody. Do not forge or heat up galvanized metal in an enclosed space with that. You need a ventilated space and respiratory protection. That can get real gross real quick and bad for your health. I had, when I was doing blacksmithing stuff, it was just being part of the SEA community that I was part of here, and it was a lot of amateurs, and some of them would be like, "I got this material, and someone was like, "Hey, I got this, this braided like steel support cable," and I'm like, "That's galvanized steel, and you're not smithing that here. You cannot do that here. That is not. We don't have a safe environment for doing that. You don't smith galvanized steel." The zinc coating burns off and is toxic. Yes. It was a very casual outdoor environment. Yes, and it's outdoors, and that's fine. But if you're close to it, you can very easily inhale that coating. Very bad time. BD790i size is 170 by 170 by 1.6. I got to look up what that is. Minis forum, mini PC. I'm not looking for a mini PC. I wouldn't be doing a mini PC. I would probably be taking the ITX board out of the Cooler Master NR200P, which is an AM5 board, and I'd be doing that. It would be a standard gaming system. It'd be just for gaming. The other thing is, it would be really cool to work with a company on it where they could have it at their CES or their PAX booth or something like that. That would also be really fun. I wonder if I would get any kind of in any kind of legal trouble with Nintendo. I mean, I'm not selling it. It's going to be mine forever. But how many monitors do you run, and how do you make them work together? Currently running 3. I'm running a 55-inch TV where I have all my stream set up and other stuff, browser stuff, my Twitch stuff, all that up there. I have a 27-inch 1440p monitor here that I'm running all my chat on, and like VLC music player, and then I'm using a 27-inch 4K monitor right here. If we're talking about my main setup, that shifts. I'll normally have 4 monitors going on there. They just all plug into your graphics card. You have 4 outputs generally on a graphics card. If it's a personal build, you should be fine. Well, I'm going to be doing it in a video, or at least on a stream. And man, I got some work to do. I got to figure out. I guess the open bench would work, but that's full ATX. Like, I don't need that. But it is a solid aluminum mounting plate that I could use. I guess I could just, if this is metal, I can just drill and tap into it. I just got to be careful not to go all the way through. But also, any really strong magnets should work too. I think making it a magnetic plate would be really cool. Just get the right magnets to put on it. You can set up how the monitors lay out. Yep, check this out. All you do is you go to your desktop, you right-click, and click Display Settings. And then you can move stuff around. Actually, I like this to be kind of in the middle rather than like that. So this is my 1440p monitor. This is the 4K monitor you're looking at right now, and that's my TV over here. And you also, whenever you're setting up your monitors, okay, Justin, this is something you're going to need to do. So let's say this is my 4K, my 1440p monitor here. Let's talk about that. Okay? If you just plug it in, you're going to get 60 hertz. You're not going to get your full refresh rate. Okay? You need to go to Advanced Display and set it to whatever the maximum is, which in this monitor is 180 hertz. Okay? Be sure to do that with every monitor, but mainly your gaming monitor needs to have that set up correctly. You also want to do extended desktops, not like mirroring or duplicating desktops, unless that's something that you need to do. And if you're not sure which monitor is which, you just hit identify and it will show the number. Like this is monitor 2 right here. That will give you a temporary number on there to show you which monitor is which. Very easy to do. Right click, display settings, and then that pops up. Geez, these guys are massive, by the way. 20.1 million on YouTube. That's crazy to be someone who makes the content for that kind of channel. That's nuts. But that also does show they do. I think they do a lot of short form, and that can help you grow really fast. But they do some good long form stuff too. So don't sleep on that. But congratulations to them for growing such a huge community. I've been enjoying their content for a little while. Magnetic plate can be more reasonable. Agreed. Identify. Yeah, there you go. I was wondering how that worked because I was wanting at least 2 monitors. Once you go 2 monitors, you're never going back. Yeah, it's too nice to have both. More than one, rather. Okay, well, I'm guessing that we're not going to have It's Epic G come back. I do appreciate the lurk, It's Epic G, but I really did want to help you out during this stream. But we can get you on the next one. You don't lose your spot on the list just because I don't help you right, during the stream where you enter the form. And if there's no one else needing help, I don't know what, we're just hanging out, I guess. Hi, everybody. I did get a new capture card, by the way. Maybe I could set up the PC and try that out, see if it's working. Bray, favorite Stardew Valley dog color? Crash, I don't know how to tell you this. But it's the orange cat. I'm more of a cat person. I love dogs. Dogs are great, but I'm more of a cat person. Mostly because they take care of themselves in a lot of ways. Hello again, Robert. What's up? But yeah, I got oh, that's not the thing I'm looking for. There we go. Got this guy. Live Gamer 4K 2.1. I'm giving up on trying to run an external capture card for the most important capture of any testing stream, the PC itself. And this thing, 4K 144 pass-through, 4K 60 capture, variable refresh rate. Cool thing is, this actually is compatible with low-profile setups. In case you need to run it in a Y70 or Y60 or Y40, I still don't really recommend that. At least it looks compatible with it. I could be wrong. Wait, does it have the low-profile bracket? That'll be the determining factor, really. Never mind, I guess it's not. I love cats too, but more as Pokemon or pals. Okay. Let's talk capture devices. I don't know about that. I have a laptop and 2 displays. Yep. One thing, do not sleep on portable monitors. There's some really good deals on really nice portable monitors out there. If you don't want to have a full-on massive monitor out there just for run your Discord. I've got a 1080p Asus monitor bought in 2020 and a 1440p one in 2023 when I built my gaming PC. I'll never go back I'll never go back. Tempting to go 4 monitors, thinking of having a 4K and another 1440p. Never underestimate how nice it is to have 2 matching monitors on each side of your main one. I like having the TIE Fighter setup. That's kind of been my favorite for streaming. It's also really nice for content creation. But yeah, you run your chats on the vertical monitor and it's just really nice. I don't have a vertical monitor in this setup right now for streaming here, and I really miss that. I might have to do that where I have one over here. Well, that's only if I get the larger desk here, because I do kind of want to make this my permanent kind of setup for videos and for streaming. Ray, I want to make this a me on my Wii U. Sure, go for it. Pretty easy. You don't have to even think about the hair. It's easy to do. Hair, no. Gray eyes, no hair, and a beard. You're good to go. Your GPU better be able to handle all of that resolution. Alucard, I mean, if it's really just not doing much, pretty easy for it to handle. Even for a modest GPU, not that bad. It's whatever monitor you're gaming on, that's where it's putting all its resources. Oh yes, I want to put these on a monitor arm. Yep, yeah, that is nice. I rarely ever use the base that is sent with a monitor, that comes with a monitor. I mount them to make desk space as much as possible. Holy Battle Station, that's what you're responding to. Yeah. Oh, wait, Star Fox, how are you just following me 36 minutes ago? Haven't you been following for like a long time now? You've been subscribed. How does that work? Right now I'm just using my TV. Well, so yeah, I have a 55-inch TV up here. For whenever I'm doing an unboxing, I can't be close to a monitor. That's really nice to run my chat off of because I can read what you guys are saying. And yeah, most people who do any kind of streaming standing up when they're moving around are going to try to go for a TV to read chat. Lone Vaquero, hi. Said, Yo Brayathorn. What's up? Twitch unfollowed him maybe? How? Why would Twitch do that? Let's buy an OLED ultra-wide panel, but like you said, Brayathorn, I want desk space. Well, I mean, the thing is, something like that, you're not going to lose desk space if you have it mounted on an arm. But for something like an ultra-wide, you need a really solid arm for that. Decided to grab that capture card. Nice. Okay.
Well, oh, I need to turn off that Tangia thing because I don't have it linked into this. So nobody use that, please. Not that everybody was clamoring to use Tangia here, but still. I need to turn off that notification thing until I turn that back on. There, it has been turned off. There we go. Got it for $80 under MSRP. Nice. Which one is it, Vaquero? Gear Upstream GUV 302G. Never heard of it. Got a 55-inch LG C2 OLED. It's so sweet. IPS looks pale in comparison. Nice. That's a great TV. Variable refresh rate, all high refresh rate, all that good stuff. Yeah. I've thought about one of those for a long time, but never was able to justify it. I need this. This is 60 hertz 55-inch TV. That's all I need it for. It's just for that. Part of me does not want to have a constantly upgrading my PC because my panel demands so much out of my computer. It's fair. Yeah. That is fair. Man, I hate having my Twitch stream in 720. I have to switch to OBS on this PC. I just have to do it. It's about time. Okay. I'm gonna do something I'd rather not do, but like, we're not really doing the thing anymore. But I like never get a chance to raid Zach's Tech Turf. I want to ask YouTube a big favor right now. Okay, there's 25 of y'all watching on YouTube. Can you please move over to the Twitch channel? Because I want to take you over to Zach's stream. Because you should definitely be following Zach's Tech Turf on Twitch. You really should be. I never really get the chance. He ends before I do. So I never get the chance to do this. So people on Twitch, don't go anywhere if you don't mind. Oh, is it going to run the ad now? Please don't start the ad now. It's going to start the ad now. People on Twitch, don't go anywhere. And people on YouTube, go to the description, click the Twitch link in there, please. Yep, there's the ad. Thank you, Twitch. OBS has other problems, but 720p default is not one of them. I'm going to tell you right now, May, the reason it's doing this is because I'm using Meld, because I needed to build a new stream really fast, and Meld is very good for that. However, you can multi-stream on Meld, but it does not allow you to have different bit rates for each different platform. So I'm running 25K to both Twitch and YouTube. YouTube is where I need 25K. Twitch, it maxes out 8,000 or so. At least that's what it's taking right now, is 8,000. Or not. It's actually taking 24K, but my max resolution is 720. What the hell are you doing, Twitch? You're so weird. Anyway. JJLA3, thank you for the follow, by the way. Here, staying put. Will you still be in the chat break for a little bit? Yeah. Araxinus, did I come in at the end of the stream? Normally you wouldn't, Araxinus. Normally you would not be here at the end of the stream. But it's just we ran out of people to help, and this is my one rare opportunity for me to raid Zach. So if as many people as possible can move over from YouTube to Twitch, I would definitely appreciate it. You should come along for this. 100%. Dan, Ameridan, thank you for the Prime sub. How you been, buddy? Yeah, I'll still be in the chat for a bit. Crash, don't spam, though. You asked that question twice. Don't do that. Okay. Let me go ahead and I guess we'll just do this with 32 people. That's fine. I appreciate all of y'all. It feels a little silly to be rating someone who already has 1,000 viewers, but Zach has rated me a couple times before with like massive raids. And I know it's a little, you know, it's whatever to come in with that much smaller of a raid, but it doesn't matter to me. It's just, it is what it is. Yo, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for following on Twitch. Appreciate that. Just in time to raid, I guess. Yeah. We're ending a little early because there's no one else to help out, so... Yeah, it's asking... Oh, you're good. A raid is a raid. Indeed. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get that started. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Thank you so much for that. We're going to raid Zach. So be sure to drop a follow for Zach's Tech Turf if you hadn't already. He does PC builds live on stream, does all that cool stuff, which we all like that stuff. So yeah, drop a follow for him. And yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, jump over to Twitch so you can join the raid. It's going off in like 30 seconds. So I'll catch y'all later. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. See you Thursday.
Let's go, nerds!
Do I have to hide? I'm in some dude's basement.